I am now on Whitaker, heading towards the resort. It's not a bad temperature actually, it's probably 7 Celsius. I do have Siri activated on my phone, but I'm not sure if it works offline. We'll soon find out. Hey Siri, what's the temperature? Hey Siri, are you there? No. Obviously it only works if I have data on my phone. I could activate data if I wanted to, because as Norma reminded me, I do get 1 gig a month of data, and I pay for what I used. So it's worth remembering in an emergency if I needed to access the internet. I finally got my shoes dry, only to come out again 2 days later wearing the same shoes. They're very likely to get wet again. I managed to switch off the video just then, but I'm starting it up again right now. As I continue on my run on Whitaker, the next stop will be at the resort in about 5 minutes. Hi. There's a climb. This is the 3-kilometer mark. Okay, so my heart rate is now getting into the triple digits. It's funny, changing app can change the dynamics of your data. With iSmoothRun, I get updates, well, I get them every 3 minutes. That's discretionary, but the app is set to take a certain sample rate of data so many times per minute. As I fumble with my point and shoot camera. I'm wearing gloves today, which makes it impossible to use my phone without taking my gloves off, because of the touch screen aspect of the phone. Luckily the point and shoot is just analog kind of buttons to push. Pretty nice skyline today. It's grey, as you can see, very grey, but quite bright. It's obviously high cloud. It's making for a very diffuse lighting. I can't call this Pat's Run. Well, maybe I could. I'll have to check on my latest shows whether I've already called one Pat's Run recently. I know I have called one of my runs Pat's Run, but I don't think I've called a podcast after that. It's 5 minutes left on this clip. Yep, there is a certain amount of tension that I need to maintain between the halyard and the camera against the back of my neck. So if I feel the pressure, I know that I am steadying the camera. So this is pretty new. That blew over maybe a couple of weeks ago. .32K. Alright, so as I was alluding to now, I'm up to 101 beats per minute, so it is creeping up in the right direction. It's not quite as spiky as when I use iSmooth Run. So obviously the sample rate is more general, like every half a minute it will take a sample and average from that. Whereas I'm guessing that iSmooth Run will probably be taking 3 or 4 samples per minute. Probably more like 1 every 10 seconds. So the smallest change will be noticed. This will take us, this clip, number 2 clip, number 2B clip, will take us to the fake wood ridges. Yeah, Pat, I had two friends called Pat. One is Patrick, who lives in Quebec, and the other one was Patricia, who lived in Sligo, Southern Ireland, up in the northern corner of Ireland. She died last week. There's another blowdown tree. This was an arbutus tree. Two minutes left on this clip. As I continue my run towards the fake wood bridges, this lanyard is going to stop the arm swing from side to side, which used to annoy Elaine. She used to tell me that the swinging camera was making her feel nauseous. So Elaine would probably approve of this version. Now I have to remember the rain on the lens. Yep, I can see that I already have rain. Hang on a second while I wipe it. That should be better. That's the other advantage of wearing gloves. I can wipe the lens a little more easily without leaving a greasy fingerprint on the lens. I don't want to leave any forensic evidence as I climb up to Upper Whittaker. This is a traditional hike section. I remember having one of those brain farts the other day. I couldn't remember what I used to call these unscheduled walk breaks. Okay, so this final clip will take me up to the saddle. It either ran out on its own, or I managed to press stop somehow with my fumbling of the camera. Up I go. As I flip the camera around on myself so you can see me in all my gory details. This is the beauty of handheld. You can do the full Monty on the flipping the camera. Seven minutes. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take off my right glove so I get a better grip of the camera and keep my left glove on so I can wipe the lens. 8:31 is my pace. Okay, so my heart rate is now up to 105 beats per minute. Have to try and remember to stay off the wet rocks if I can, because they are slippery today. Okay, so the last climb up towards the Elephant Rock. Oops, large puddle. Yeah, I'm going to take my right glove off just to improve my grip. As I use my teeth to pull my glove off. Okay, so now I'm holding the glove, I mean the camera, in my bare hand, wiping the lens with my gloved digit. Excuse me, my nose is running more than I am at the moment. Down I go. So Kevin, my friend from Cincinnati, has had his gallbladder removed. Not exactly sure what the gallbladder does, but I don't think it has anything to do with red blood cells. I think that's the spleen. Mind you, I'm not a doctor. I don't know exactly what the gallbladder does, other than it has something to do with the urinary tract, because gallstones are what makes the gallbladder and the gallbladder duct clog up, and that becomes very painful as I climb over, whoops, the rock, the wet elephant. That'll be the title today, the wet elephant. Okay, so I'm now up to 106 beats per minute average. I'm listening to a podcast, sort of vaguely going on in the background. It's one of those true crime jobs that they go into excruciating detail. Those deep dives. so I don't mind skipping some of those details. Actually, I think it's just come to the end of one of those episodes. Hello, doggy. Good morning.
Hello.
Kind of wet today.
Kind of wet for the scrapper.
Alright, 2 minutes 21 seconds left as I adjust the lanyard so that I can try the selfie mode. You'll probably see the strap that I'm telling you about around my head, but it is just about the right focal length from my face. Hi there. Guy had his bandana around his Friar Tuck head. He obviously doesn't mind showing his bald pate. For me, it's more to do with warmth and protection from sunburn. I don't find hats very easy to wear, mainly because of the peak. I don't like the peak. It catches on branches. It makes me look a little bit too North American, which is really not my scene, even though I've been here for so long. I like to look a little different from your average jackal. Alright, so that's the other thing. My average height right now is 1.7. That would be zone 2 now. Oh no, zone 1. So either my heart is in good shape or I'm not getting as good a readout or as accurate a readout as I was with the more frequent sample rate. Any rain that does come just flows straight off the mountain. Yep, I did actually record on Thursday, the last time I wore these shoes. That was when I ran, where was it now? Up Harrop, that's right, Harrop Going Up was the name of that episode. I was looking at my stats today and I noticed that I have lost some of my regular Spreaker fans. I don't think I've lost them altogether. I think ever since I have switched to showing running podcast video, some of my regular audio listeners have now switched to picking up my programming on YouTube, which is fine. I've lost 4 or 5 from Spreaker and I've gained about 15 or 20 on YouTube, so it's a bit of the roundabout and swings. This is the saddle, the famous Saddle Rock. I go between the jaws of the saddle, clearing my nose a little bit so I can breathe a little easier as I start hanging down, down. I do hope this works for you, and please share with anybody who you think might enjoy this kind of guerrilla podcasting. So there's another African theme. Elephant Rock guerrilla podcasting, but as Jim so accurately reminds you whenever he mentions that, it's guerrilla, which is the Spanish pronunciation of gorilla. Guerrilla is the kind of warfare that the Viet Cong did in that epic war with no victors. As I run past the cave, and there you go, there's the cave, and down.
Oh yeah, whoa. Hey, this way.
The dog wants to follow me. Let me check what I've got left. 4 minutes will do it. This is all more new blowdown here. See those people on the other side of the trail? That's the trail that I take when I go to the meadows. And there is the new broken tree. Wow. It comes right over to here. Yep. This came down last night. Look at that. Fabulous. I mean, in a sad way, a fabulous photo opportunity. So we've seen the result of 2 or 3 blowdowns from today, from today's little outing on the mountain. This was another big one that came down a while back, but that was from way up there. As I wipe the lens again. It's not too distracting actually. I was looking at the viewfinder as I was wiping the lens. You can see exactly what's happening. It's not like, oh, what happened there? You can see what's happening there, and the audio isn't affected. That little pinhole for the microphone is on a different part of the camera, somewhere near the bottom, somewhere near where I'm holding it with my bare hand. As long as I'm not blocking the camera microphone, I should be okay as I approach the top of the hill repeats, the bottom of the summit ascent on Glendenning Trail. There's a guy going up the steep part. Back in the 70s they used to do motocross up that hill. Not sure what they were doing there, but still, probably just stretching as I zoom back to give you a good sense of the scale of this playground of mine. Just saw another spot hit the camera. Let me wipe it again. as I turn the camera around to say goodbye to you. This is the running jackal in gory close-up saying bye-bye to you.